Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Cryptic Gaming. I hope you've been having a wonderful week. So, Oaths of War, man, I'm really liking it so far. I'm going to give you some tips to help you get that SP and help you get the blueprint. Now, there's been some people asking about the frigate infamy mission, which is where you get to use you steal a frigate, you go out and use it and all that kind of stuff. Wondering when you open it up. Well, according to the developer note, the producer notes, it says once you've acquired the frigate blueprint, you will automatically unlock and can start the frigate infamy quest. So I'm guessing that's probably what it's talking about. That's why you're not seeing the ability to do that yet. So get that blueprint unlocked. You're probably then going to be able to use it. We'll have to wait and see how that works out for you. Now, something else, if you already have the frigate blueprint and you're grinding that deep iron, I understand it is a very long grind. Having finally got mine to 15 at 2 a.m. last night, it was a long grind. Now, what I will tell you is there's going to be another way to earn that deep iron and those iron plates as well once the Faction Wars launch. If you're wondering what Faction Wars is, that's what Oaths of War season is about. The launch at the midpoint of the season is going to give us that Faction War. So that's going to be pretty sweet to see how that works out and things like that. We're also going to be looking at a lot of new furnitures as well. And I tell you what, I am definitely looking forward to seeing what all they've got in store for us in this Faction War here. Now, I'm going to show you some of the furnitures and things here in just a second, but I want to show you the best way to get SP. You can do this in Tier 1 or Tier 2. The reason I'm in Tier 1, guys, Tier 2 to me seems like it's got a lot of issues. Tier 1 still seems like it runs fairly smooth. What I've encountered is if I'm running plunders in Tier 1, I get 60 SP. Yes, I'm talking about just normal plunder. What I've been doing is just coming over and these two locations right here and right here. They each have a 4-stage plunder. It takes just couple minutes and you're done. You get 60 SP. It'd be the same as coming over here running this for 60 SP over at Megafort Houston. Totally up to you if you want to do that, but stick to the small ones. They go a lot quicker. You can also run your takeovers, solos and hostels. You're going to earn some SP on that. You earn 20 SP on these bosses over here, Fangs of Farah, Hunter Hunted. We've went over that before. You gain SP on convoys, multiple ship convoys that have like 3 of the gold ships. What I noticed is I was getting awarded for each gold ship I would destroy. So I was getting as many as 60 SP on convoys here in Tier 1. Like I say, it's supposed to pay double in Tier 2. And while I was running this in Tier 2, what I ran into is a couple times it wouldn't pay anything at all. It would show up on the right-hand side, 120 SP was awarded. But when you would come over, I always screenshot before plunder by smuggler points, like I have 72 of 1,000. And when I complete, I go and I check it again because there was some reports that this was not updating, and it was not updating in Tier 2 every time. So you're probably missing out on some of your smuggler points if you're doing this stuff in Tier 2, guys. I've reported it in the bug reporter. It's up to you if you want to try and report that. If you're wondering where the bug reporter is, you want to find that bug reporter in the game. But you have a weekly mission here that's going to come up. And this is an achievement that you can run. But the achievement is about daily missions, by the way. So that's something you need to keep in mind. It is going to be doing 5 contracts on the bounty board. That gives you 500 SP. Now, each contract that you pick up on the bounty board, though, and this is once per day. This is not going to be every time you run it, but once per day, every mission that you pick up, you're going to be able to run and get 500 pieces of 8 on those particular missions. That's something to keep in mind, guys. You're going to be able to, when you turn your contract in, you turn your bounty in, you're going to be able to get that. So I still got Bertrand to run, and then the Roadman Godins and stuff. I've not noticed these sea monsters paying that. We're going to run them again. But I know that the actual bosses like Lee and things like that, they've actually been paying out 500 each day, but it resets, has a cooldown. So that's something to look forward to on your bounty boards here at Tulloch and also over in St. Anne. You're going to earn that 500 SP. Now, there is rumor that you can do that in Tier 2 and earn 1,000, but like I say, I've had so many things that was a non-pay on it, I just kind of stopped messing with it, honestly, man. That was just kind of where I was at. But Tier 1 seems to be working pretty good for me, so there's a lot of great ways to get that stuff. Now, one of the things I did want to go over is in this new season, we have a seasonal calendar, and we're going to show you some of these weapons that's coming into it. So we have next week the Manic Moonshiner mission. Now we're going to be able to get a new furniture. That furniture, by the way, it works great with your culverins. We're going to go over that here in a minute. And we're also going to be getting a new bombard in that. So we're going to see the Manic Moonshiners event come up about every other week. It'll be here. So it looks like it's coming up about 4 times. And then when we get over to September 2nd, we're going to see the Dark Tide Lullaby. So I'm guessing right around that is where we're going to see the new event begin with the smuggler, or where we actually take an oath to the DMC and all. We'll have to see how that works. But Dark Tide Lullaby is coming in. This is going to bring a new Hell's Gate, I think is the name of it, torpedo, and of course those Nashcars that everybody's been wanting, and of course some furnitures as well. So let us check this stuff out. A lot of great things. I imagine these events are going to be just like the Halloween event was last year, and then of course the recent Honorless event. We're going to be earning certain types of tokens and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure is what we're going to end up seeing there. So now we're going to go over here to our codex, and we're going to check out these new weapons that is coming into the game. They are top deck weapons. So obviously the Bombard is coming out first, so we want to look at it. It is called the Ashbreaker. This is going to be blessed by the Priest of the Fara. The Bombard causes burning damage to increase the build-up rate of vulnerable status effect, wielded by aggressive captains to unleash a deadly combination of flame and crew attack. So basically it's sounding like this thing is going to be an advanced fire bombard to a degree. You're going to get a explosive 1 and a burning 2. So up here we used to get an explosive 2 and a burning 1. So we're seeing more toward the burning aspect than we are the explosive aspect. Plus we're picking up a 1% burning damage, is increasing the build-up rate of the vulnerable status effect by 1%. So that means you're going to get more crew attacks and things like that as well with that Marauder perk on there. You will have an additional increase in the build-up rate of 40% with this. So that'll be a pretty good one. I'm thinking for the Sambuck when it comes out, throwing this thing on there, and I rely heavily on crew attacks anyway, and this looks like it's going to be a fantastic weapon to be able to get me a little bit more distance to get away from some of them Demi cannons. So I am definitely looking forward to that. Now with the long guns, again, this is coming out here soon. It's going to be a couple of events that are going to come up. You're going to be able to get them from the Azor Strongbox. There's a Dark Tide Altar over with the Dark Tide Lullaby is available. That's a PvP type mission situation, but you can actually get it whenever that's available in the game. But we're also looking at the illicit ledger of St. Anne when Moonshine Larceny is available. So that's supposed to be coming up pretty soon from what it's sounding like. Definitely looking forward to it. Ghostly Meaning, Burning 2, and Piercing 1. This may actually be a better option. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see than those Bombards, but them Bombards look like they were going to hit pretty hard. So, torpedoes. This is the Hellgate Serpent torpedo that is coming out in that final event there. So it's also can be purchased at the Dark Tide Altar in Talak Panjara when Dark Tide Lullaby is available. That is the second mission, guys. That's something to be aware of. That's like I was saying, when those come out, we're going to be able to run this. So you're going to have Spirit Mending on this torpedo. You're going to have Arming, which increases the damage when it's outside of 85 meters by 150%. That's pretty cool. Burning 2 and Flooding 2, so multiple damage. Looks like a pretty decent weapon from what I've seen in the past. Is looking like it's going to be pretty decent. 1836 is the base, which is really, I mean, that's not a bad base to have. Plus, you're getting that Spirit Mending. So, may look into that. I've never been a big torpedo person, but those look pretty decent to me. Now, of course, our furnitures that's coming out here, I do recommend that you definitely pick this one up when this time comes. The Trunnion Furnace, this is going to refine the trunnions of the culverins, boosting their projectile speed and giving each shot a chance to chain damage to nearby targets. You know how that ricochet effect works? This is kind of similar to that. It's going to have a chance to kick 25% of the damage to other ships within 100 meters. Now, if you're using lightning, that's really going to start doing some pretty nice chain reactions there, I would imagine. I'm definitely looking forward to it, to put that on there. I've got some culverins on the front of my frigate, and I'm going to put some culverins on the rear. I think I'm going to stick with the Heaven Mandate and then throw this on that furniture as well. That should really help. And then I'll probably keep the Demis on the broadside. May try some of those Heaven Mandate. We'll just have to wait and see what ends up happening, but I'm very happy with the new Demi cannon so far. It seems to be doing pretty good. Now, I would say coming into this game, there's going to be some interesting things you're going to be watching for. One of the things I do recommend that you watch for at Blackwood, if you haven't picked it up, guys, and this is a little tip here. If you have not picked this up yet, wait for him to come out. It's being the furniture. It was in his shop here a couple weeks ago. It's the Freeman's Embrace. Damage status effects on your ship spread to any enemy ships that you ram. So when you come in and you start bumping in ships and they've set you on fire, which happens a lot with the frigate, by the way, you're able to spread that fire damage right on them. So I think it's pretty nice. It's just adding another DPS value. That on top of the explosive perks with the armor and stuff, if you've watched that video. So a lot of really cool things on there. But for you new gamers, man, let me tell you, it's going to be a grind for you. Your first step should be, if regardless of what type of ship you have, your first step should be looking at the types of missions that get you the points in the seasonal and your weekly progress. Okay, so got some job board items. These are pretty easy. It's usually building cannons and then moving it to a location, or picking up some bog iron and delivering it to a spot, stuff like that. But that's going to earn you 500 SP once that contract's finished. But understand, each time you're completing a contract at the job board, you're getting SP for those as well. It's not just the 500. You're getting a building up from the contracts, and then this is just a bonus. And that's true of everything. So that one there I need to finish off, but that's the last one I believe I've got on that. Then the seasonals, we got some more stuff we got to run on this. But I don't typically board ships much, but we may start doing it. But like I say, right now what I'm actually looking at doing more or less is just farming out events, farming out bosses, and farming out the plunders and stuff. That seems to be working pretty good for me. Again, you can do it tier 1 and tier 2. It's up to you. But if you're at a tier 1 ship, you can easily plunder any of these bases around St. Anne. And like I say, whether it's in the Indies or St. Anne or Africa, it's going to pay you 60 SP to run a plunder. Now, a plunder takes a little longer than it does to run like Fangs of Pharaoh once you're a higher level. So to me, running this here is 80 points running this, and it takes me about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that, to run through those bosses real quick. And then I can usually throw some convoys in. There might be a convoy nearby I can jump into. Like I say, each of those gold ships pay out just like a boss ship would. Each of the gold ships pay out. So if you got a convoy with 3 of those ships on there, make sure you blow them all up, destroy them, and then pick up your SP from it. So that's something that you're going to be able to do. You get guild points from this stuff as well. When it comes to your guild points, how many can you get? The quickest way to get it? Well, you're going to want to go to your leaderboard. As you can see, we've maxed out on Diamond now. And once you max that out, guys, that's going to have a pretty large amount of guild marks for you to use and take advantage of. Like I say, just by running that, I was able to pick up multiples of the items I wanted from Blackwood. He's got some pretty good items. We've gone over that before, so I'm not going to go over that again too much with you. But yeah, definitely make sure that you keep an eye on the game. Again, seasonal calendar, that's what we're looking at right now, finding the information that we're going to be able to get. It doesn't say specifically when we're looking at the midpoint, but I'm guessing when this Dark Tide Lullaby event comes in is when we're actually looking at September 2nd. I'm guessing this is probably where that new mode is going to come into play. Now, you're going to have a double guild mark event on the 30th of August, so that's something to keep in mind. You're going to have a Pieces of 8 weekend coming up on the 23rd of August as well. A double chest weekend coming up here on August 2nd. So we got quite a few things coming into the game here pretty soon. So the Manic Moonshiner, I am definitely looking forward to that. I'm sure that we're going to earn SP and stuff for running this as well. I understand we earned a lot of SP running those events in the Otterless last season, so I imagine we're going to see that as well. But all your bosses and stuff, instead of it being 1-for-1, they basically have taken, they've just a ratio of what it is that you're getting. They've applied as an SP now, a set amount, and it's actually a pretty low amount, unfortunately for folks. But there's rooms that they're talking about, some things. There's a new Shadow Beast, and we can pick up a weapon. If I'm not mistaken, these are those heaven mandates that you can pick up. So something you're going to want to look at is running that dragon. But also you can get that Phoenix Talon right now if you run Lee. You don't have to run the high-end Lee. You don't have to run the 19s and 20s. You can run the 13s in Tier 1 and earn those cannons as well. You can also pick up that furniture, that mirror furniture as well. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't want to wait for Blackwood to get it, and it's probably going to be a long grind. I'm not going to lie. Most of the time, all I get is blood red furniture. I haven't gotten any of the Canada's. I haven't gotten the Freeman's Embrace yet either, but from her. But they say it's available there. So just tell you what's available. As to when it actually pays out, unfortunately, that'll be something you'll have to find out. Looks like there is a furniture piece, it looks like, here with Zang, so that's something you can keep in mind. You might be able to grind that out. But these are some things that are going to give you your SP, guys. And like I say, everything you destroy is going to apply a little bit of something to it, but nothing's going to apply a lot to it unless you're running those contracts at the bounty board. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to hop off here.